back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Tatiana and my name is Tatiana and I'm a BSN nursing student in my senior year. And in this video, it's going to be starting off a week in the life. I know I sound pretty energized right now, but right now I am tired. I worked and then I went home, did a couple of ATIs that were due today, and it took me a while to do them. So right now I'm headed to school and I'm about to get ready to study with some of my classmates, and it's like 10 right now, and our class doesn't start until 1. So we're just gonna study and just, get prepped and ready because our first exam is next week. So just, come along. Just gonna start off the weekend in life. So follow along, watch me go study.
Okay, so I'm going to be going over and studying perioperative nursing, and that's just the pre-op, intraoperative, and post-op, and those are all the things that goes along with surgery. So I'll get into that in a little bit more in detail after I go, talk about how the first day of class and everything was. So stay tuned for that.
Beep, beep, beep. Malignant hypothermia. Then post-op period is from the time the patient leaves the OR until the follow-up visit with the surgeon. Okay, let's talk about the first day of class and how it went. It was long, y'all. Like, I had class from like 1 to 7. Then we had like an hour break. Well, we had like our breaks, but then we had like an hour break between the next class. But it was long for no reason, and I messed up because after I got off work at like 7:30ish, I went home, took a nap, and then I went up to the school to study at around 10ish. So that means I got up around 9:30. I really didn't go to sleep until about 8:40. Got up at 9:30. It was up from 9:30 all the way up until 10 at night. When I tell you I was slumped, when I was in my mental health class, I was like, oh my God, I'm getting so sleepy. Like, my brain is starting to get fried. And when we went on an hour break, I went in my car and I was knocked out. So I'm not gonna do that again. So I know test days, I don't need to do that, for especially test days for mental health. So first day of class went good, and like I said, we have our first exam next week, which is so crazy to me. But yeah, I'm gonna talk about me studying and everything in the next next clip. You're gonna see me studying a bunch of times, and I'll just go over what I'm studying about, how's that going, how I feel about it, and things like that. So yeah, I'll see you guys once I'm studying. Okay, so we are studying. Anybody want to be on camera? Okay, you said Angel. Hey. And Chastity. And Bear's over here. Isn't he cute? Walking. But we are studying perioperative nursing for Med-Surg. And we're just going over a few things for that. When it comes to perioperative nursing, like I explained before, there are 3 phases of perioperative nursing. Preoperative being, this is going to be the decision to go ahead and do the surgery and interventions to transfer the patient into the operating room. Intraoperative begins when the patient is transferred from the OR bed and ends with the admission into the PACU. And the last phase is post-op, which begins at admission of the patient to the PACU and ends with the follow-up. And you'll hear me repeat this again, but I just want to give you guys an idea of what I'm studying when it comes to med-surg. It's just how I study and how I break things down to try to help me with the exam. I try to when it comes to understanding the concept, you want to know the baseline of what it is that you're talking about. They can go for any subject or any topic. So if you know that you guys are on, let's say for instance, gastrointestinal, you want to make sure you know all the components and everything that goes with gastrointestinal. You want to know what type of the most common disease processes that goes with that, the type of interventions, the most common interventions, the most common complications, the most common medications. You want to know all those types of things so they can be able to better help you understand the overall concept, is how I would explain when it comes to studying for exams. And coming from someone who was not the best test taker, understanding the concept of a question, I had to learn a better way of studying. Yeah, it's cool to, have all these colorful notes and everything, but you don't have to spend hours making all of these colorful notes just for you to be able to pass an exam or for you to be able to exceed. Just knowing those main components, like I said before, will help you, succeed and get better as a test taker and help you be more confident when it comes to answering these NCLEX style questions, because these questions are beasts. It can make or break you. It could be down to your last question, and that one question that you could have gotten right had you would have, thought a certain way. It'll help in that process. To me, how I can explain it, pre-op is a long assessment. A long assessment meaning you have to do all of the assessment parts. You have to do the assessment part, meaning you have to do a detailed history about what type of medications are they taking. Are they taking any vitamins? Are they taking any vitamins? Are they allergic to anything new than the previous time? Because, for example, if, let's say, your patient is taking metformin, it's important that you address, okay, patient's on metformin, because if you don't document that, you're putting the patient at risk for a lactic acidosis because of the metformin. So it's just simple medications like that. Like if they're taking fish oil pills, that can increase the chances of them having excessive bleeding. So those little things like that are important to hit when you're doing your pre-op your pre-op assessment, that's why I kept saying that pre-op is just like a long assessment. You're getting all the information regarding the patient to be able to better help with the surgery, being a success, and just mapping out a good plan for the patient. And intraoperative is more so of during the actual surgery itself. So from the time that they're in the OR and in the PACU, that's the time with intraoperative. Like if there's any complications during the surgery, that's like a intraoperative type of issue or problem, because it's happening either during that period of the surgery or during that window before you go back onto the floor.
Day one post-op.
Well, we know effective coughing helps them break up the secretions. Give them a spirometer. We know that, right? Helping them ambulate. And then she did say reposition every 2 hours. So
yes, and make sure they splint the abdominals. Reopen the wound up. And
Miley, can you cover her up, please? She apparently needs help over there.
Oh. Okay, so let's see.
And we know gas can, ambulation can help with passing gas.
What do you do first when a patient gets to med-surg to the med-surg unit from PACU? Assist with the transport, getting them over from the stretcher to the bed. Make sure you are protecting the IV lines, drains, and tractions. Get vitals. Get the report from the PACU nurse, and perform a focus assessment and initiate a post-op orders and basically your nursing care plan.
Okay. What's important for the patients to have post-op to prevent thrombosis? And we know.
Okay, blood clot.
Huh?
Thrombosis, she said blood clot.
What's the most important for patients to have to prevent those?
Ambulate.
Yeah.
It is your responsibility to immediately, before surgery, to include a preoperative teaching, assessment, and communication on pertinent findings. You want to make sure that all the orders are done in the chart, and that goes with the patient to the OR. It's important that the patient signs the informed consent, that you have the results of the laboratory and diagnostic testing. You looking where I'm at? Up.
Okay.
You want to make sure they have their baseline vitals, proper skin prep, and completed nursing notes. Okay, so that is pretty much it when it's for this week. I just wanted to like I said, take the time to kind of just give you an idea of how I study, just in general. Like I said, when it comes to me studying, it's always an ever-changing thing. How I study for one class might not be how I study for another class. So I just kind of give you a snippet of how I study. I do like a brief study guide. And I study with my classmates, and I do study on my own. Like when I'm at work, I do study, and when I'm at home, I study sometimes, but majority of the time I study at my downtime at work. What else? Like I said, I am not the best I have grown as a test taker. I have not been, I'm not a terrible test taker, but at once upon a time I was a very bad test taker, because like when it came to my entrance exam with the T's, y'all, I made just what I needed to get in here for nursing. So I had to grow as a test taker, find out what works for me, what doesn't. So I hope this video helped far as like a breakdown of how I study. I can go in more detail in another video, but I just kind of want to just give you guys a brief of what it's like for me for our studying and how I go about doing studying. And yeah, so I thank you guys so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.